Hey, so what's going on everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video what I want to go over is a video going on to basically just going over the Elseworlds Crossover and just going over my genuine kind of like review and thoughts and opinions and everything. So just really going over a few things I actually liked about it and a few things I didn't actually like. So like just basically before we get into it, if you want to and you're new around here, you can subscribe, leave a like and comment down below. I'll have a video post maybe after this going on to an Aquaman review, so you can stick around and watch that if you want to. I'm not sure how many people are going to want to watch it. But let's get into it. So obviously one of the massive things we got was basically at the end of the crossover, you can see that Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to be set up next year. It is going to be the crossover for next year, 2019. I'm very excited for it. I can't wait for it, honestly. I do think they're not going to kill off Barry, but I do think they're going to kill off Oliver, just because, you know, the way he was kind of speaking and the way he kind of more likely set a deal up with the Monitor. And I do believe, you know, it was like the Monitor who was speaking at the end of it, basically just going on and mentioning it, you know, with John Deegan or whatever, which honestly, I was expecting Dr. Destiny to kind of be in this massive form he is in like the animated series and stuff, which honestly I would have preferred, but well, you know, it's CW and you know, and like the budget and everything, it makes sense why they didn't go away and do it. Another small complaint I have is basically Batwoman. She wasn't used too much, honestly, from what I've heard. The like Batwoman theme, I'm pretty sure isn't actually great. I'm pretty sure it's not, you know, just good anyway. I heard a few people basically say it wasn't great, and she was mostly in part 2. And to be honest, part 2 wasn't great, it wasn't amazing or anything. Obviously part 1 and part 3 were like basically the biggest ones. Obviously part 3 kind of went on and dealt with basically just going over, you know, Superman, you know, like the evil version of him technically, you know, John Deegan or the Doctor, Dr. Destiny, and basically went on to go with him. And you know, part 1 was basically just setting up everything for the crossover, which to be honest, it was alright. Seeing Gary, I'm pretty sure from Legends and making a Legends reference was pretty good. There was a small cameo that they ended up like mentioning would happen, which was basically Gary. And to be honest, I was very excited to kind of see Gary. It was very good to be able to see. I didn't expect to see him, to be fair, but you know, obviously Cisco was in it, who was pretty interesting as well. He wasn't amazing. Him basically being an evil version was basically kind of what I expected, to be honest. It wasn't anything like too interesting. Another kind of like small complaint I have is the 90s Flash. He wasn't used way too much. He was used pretty much minimum. I'm not even sure what actually happened to him. I'm pretty sure at the end of like part 2, he just basically wasn't really around. He just got teleported or something. I'm not exactly too sure what happened to him, but you know, it was still great to be able to see him and everything. Obviously the whole Green Lantern kind of like tease basically was amazing as well for Diggle, which honestly I've seen a few people do before, basically that they would do videos into like Diggle and seeing if he'd become Green Lantern or if he was going to be mentioned in it or anything. And you know, well, I guess it's kind of like a tease for the like fan base to basically know that a Green Lantern does exist in the multiverse. And to be honest, whenever that was happening, I did think he was on about the Flash ring for a second, but then after a while and after I went on Twitter and everything, I ended up seeing it was just basically about Green Lantern, and it was, well, basically just setting up Green Lantern and everything, so I was pretty excited for that. I was really shocked, to be honest. I was really shocked. And you know, going on to part 1 and everything, Iris was used mainly for part 1. She wasn't used in like part 2 or part 3, and to be honest, I would have preferred her to like show up in maybe part 2 and be a big part of part 3. She just wasn't really around too much in part 2 and part 3. And to be honest, it would have been great to be able to see her again. It would have been just amazing to see it. I'm not even too sure if we saw Nora in it. I'm pretty sure we didn't see Nora in the crossover, which was kind of like a disappointment, to be honest. I wish we saw her at least somewhat anyway. Killer Frost wasn't used too much. She was used mainly in part 1 and part 3, and she wasn't really in part 2. And you know, obviously the Canform was in it as well. That was in it for part 1 and part 3. Which, it was good and all, it wasn't amazing or anything. There was like mentions back to Smallville, which I know a lot of people are going to be excited for and everything. But to be honest, I never really watched the show, so I don't know too much about it. And you know, Alex was in the most recent episodes of part 3, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting to see like Martian Manhunter, I wasn't expecting to see Brainy, I just really wasn't expecting to see them. And obviously with it being like a Supergirl episode, I should have kind of guessed it. I should have really just basically just copped it on, really. And you know, just to give my conclusion and everything and to go over what I just went over, I'm very excited to go on and, you know, see Crisis on Infinite Earths. I kind of thought Batwoman was a bit underused. I would have preferred to see her. Smallville was obviously like a few references here and there. Diggle basically went on to become Green Lantern in a different Earth. 90s Flash wasn't used too much, which I would have liked to see a bit more of, to be honest. The Green Lantern tease was kind of interesting as well. It was really good to be able to see that. And Superman, overall, I did enjoy quite a lot. He's probably like top 3 in my list of like Supermans at the current moment anyway. But you know, that's been pretty much it for the whole video, so I hope you went on to enjoy it at least somewhat. And obviously I'll have another video to post maybe later on or tomorrow, I'm not too sure yet. But I'm going to have a video post either later on or tomorrow. And you know, just hope you get excited for that. An Aquaman review will try and be up later. I'm not too sure if it will be, but I'll try and get it up. So just look forward to that. And it's probably not going to be spoilers, or I'll have it like mixed up, I'm not too sure yet. But just hope you have a great day and everything, and goodbye.